welcome. Welcome to Bay Focus today. I am so glad you tuned in. Boy, is it getting to be a busy time of the year, and that is a good thing. The events that are starting to happen again, people getting out of their homes, out of isolation, getting out and participating in things that advance the gospel, and we're so grateful for that. And we have two ministries today that have events coming up they want you to participate in that are going to be so awesome. In just a moment, we're going to talk with Somebody Cares Tampa Bay and a men's conference they have coming up. Then also a little bit later in the show, the Florida Dream Center and their Top Golf tournament, and you don't want to miss that and ways you can help the ministry there. But we're going to start today with Somebody Cares Tampa Bay, and we have the founder and president of the Tampa Bay Somebody Cares organization back, Daniel Bernard. Thank you so much for coming back again.
Great to be here.
And you know, I have to honestly say, even though you were busy different things during 2020, to see some things happening now more so in 2021, getting back to normal, and you have an exciting event coming up. But before we get to that, we may have some viewers that don't know what Somebody Cares Tampa Bay does. Please tell them.
Well, we're a group that seeks to network the churches across racial, denominational lines. As we work together, obviously we can do more together than we can apart. And so we partner in how we can then effectively reach and impact the community. Mainly it's with various compassion means where we work together to reach out and help and benefit those who are in need in our community. Yet we do also other things, like we just got done doing the National Day of Prayer there at Calvary Church. Yes. And in the past it's been a stadium event. So it's just what happens with the power of unity and able to then to take that resources and so forth to work together to really make an impact on people's lives and glorify Christ through that.
Just the level of food distribution you guys have done over the years. And we've been bringing you on now for 20 years. The show's almost 21 years old. And you were early years that we brought you on. Some of the huge events at Tropicana Field, all the different things that you did. And then to see it, flesh out into a week-to-week, day-to-day. You meet with pastors. You do prayer things. You know, all these different things.
Care Fest.
Back to school, Care Fest.
Of course, we now we do the praying Tuesday through Thursday at noon and every day.
I love that, and that's online. People can.
Yeah, the fight.live.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and you've kept that going. I didn't even realize
kept that going.
That started several months ago, back in the election months, and you've kept it all the more we need it. I mean, I'm so glad you didn't stop doing that. That's awesome. I didn't know that. I'm going to have to come in.
We have national leaders coming on and praying with us.
Yeah, I didn't know you had kept it going. All right, I'll do that. All right, now let's talk about this men's conference. We're going to put on the screen a graphic we have for us. Tell us what's coming up, where, location, a little bit about it.
Well, part of that Fight.Live is that we started having Judge Vance Day, who was the former president of Promise Keepers. He was coming on and praying with us, and from that I said, we have quarterly pastors meetings, and we'd love for you to come and do that quarterly pastors meeting, and it would be a preempt the big stadium event that they're having at AT&T Stadium in Dallas, July 16th and 17th. And he agreed to do that, and then it began to just morph into a bigger event. And had Darren Gray, who was with Athletes in Action. He called, we talked, and he said, listen, let's bring Clyde in and let's get Michael Clayton. So they added, Clyde Christensen, who's a quarterback coach for the Bucs.
Yes.
He coached Peyton Manning and Tom Brady. So, but he's been around for years sharing at Fellowship of Christian Athletes events, their national events. And then Michael Clayton, former wide receiver, All-American, and of course he's now the commentator for the Bucs games as well. And then we had a recent addition where the CEO and chairman of Promise Keepers is now coming as well. And of course he's been a business person, a Navy SEAL. I mean, he's got a lot to share with us. So, man, what a tremendous lineup we have and so many, from what I'm hearing from a lot of the pastors and men's leaders, said, boy, our men really want to get together again. And of course, it's going to have a real feel of like a mini Promise Keepers event there. So it's going to be really, really exciting. And our men need to be encouraged, and with all the discouragement and so forth that's taking place over the last year, and of course, still the same remains, is that, as Paul said, he said, you have many teachers, but not many fathers. So to encourage them to really, step up and be those spiritual leaders and be those fathers in the Lord and so forth, which we, the big problem in our country today is that we have a real gap in genuine godly leadership. And that's what it's seeking to do. The name of the conference is Be a Godly Man in a Godless World.
I love that. Say that again.
Be a godly man in a godless world.
Yeah, that's just, when I saw that title, I went, wow, that's no small task.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a mandate on men, but it's going to be held at Indian Rocks Baptist Church.
Indian Rocks Baptist have been very gracious to be our host. And so we'll start at 8:30 and run to 2. And the great thing is lunch is included. Want to encourage everybody to get there early, and so we can start right away, because it is a, jam-packed.
Will you be doing some praise and worship too, or
we
not
will.
yet?
We'll have a little praise and worship, and so we'll be doing all that. And
does everything happen in one location? You just rotate, so it's all in the sanctuary?
Yeah, all in the, with the exception of the lunch.
Well, they drew the line there.
Yeah, so, but it's, listen, it's, you get 20 or more and it's $15.
Yeah.
Lunch would cost $15.
Oh, yeah.
So, this is as close as free as you can get,
Right.
So just a tremendous opportunity to bring people together and, really challenge and encourage your men. And so many of the churches too said, we've not even had men's ministry for some time. This is going to help launch it. So,
wow, that's a great idea.
So it's helping to launch the men's ministry once again and their churches. So we're very excited that God has really brought this together.
Okay, we're going to go to a video, and then we're going to come back and talk some more. But you just brought him up, and let's hear from him directly. The former Buccaneer Michael Clayton, who's going to be known to a lot of our viewers. Let's take a look and see what he has to say about the conference.
Hi, this is Michael Clayton, former national champion of the LSU Tigers, former Tampa Bay Buccaneer, and former Super Bowl champion of the New York Football Giants. And I look forward to being with you on Saturday, June 5th at the Men's Ministry Conference at Indian Rocks Church. Now, being a godly man is all about making good choices. And you do that when your identity is rooted in the Spirit, in the faith, and in the body of Christ. Now, I love men's ministry because we get to open up about our own vices and be held accountable by men who have walked down those same valleys. Men ministry matters now more than ever because people are using the pandemic to fall away from God, when it is the most opportune time to trust and see the light shine amongst this dark world. And men, we are called to lead our families. And how can we lead our families if we be not led by the way, the truth, and the life of Jesus, Yeshua the Christ? We must prepare ourselves to be godly men in a godless world. See you June 5th at the Men's Ministry Conference at Indian Rocks Church.
I love that. A little bit enthusiastic.
Yeah,
I love it.
Bring that June 5th, right?
Oh, I know. And when we're mentioning Judge Vance Day, Michael Clayton, Clyde Christensen, who really got to be known during this incredible, he's known in sports circles for years and years, but his witness and his testimony for the Lord really became front and center again with all the Bucs success from this past year, and a connection with him that I didn't know was to Billy Graham.
Oh.
And the Billy Graham family. Oh, he's very close with the Billy Graham
That's
family.
Great.
Yes.
Well, in Judge Vance Day, he's a district judge up in Oregon, and boy, he has made some stances that cost him dearly.
Yeah.
And so to hear his story is quite
And hasn't he appeared before the Supreme Court or something?
Yes, that's
as
right.
well.
Yeah.
So you talk
his
about
case that he stood for. Took him all the way there and cost him dearly, but. He's there to talk about, again, be a godly man in a godless world. So he standing up, in the midst of darkness, in the midst of a great attack that came upon him, and not only survived, but, excelled.
I just can't, and then of course Ken Harrison, like you mentioned, current president of Promise Keepers, but we've had him here at CTN. We had him on another show that I produce, actually, The Good Life, our flagship show, and his story is incredible too, and all that. And so you've got a really stellar lineup of people that are really going to pour into these men. Really, and for what I think it was such a time as this. But all right, so you've mentioned that this will be something that whole men's groups can get involved with it. It can come as individuals, come as a group. Tell us now, in terms of wrapping up our segment, Somebody Cares Tampa Bay has so much that they do year round. What are the greatest way, obviously, our viewers should go to this conference.
Right.
But how can they help you year round?
Well, year round, we need volunteers on a regular basis helping with it. Some of it's a lot of grunt work and so forth, but because a lot of the things that we do are behind the scenes when you're networking and bringing people together. So a lot of that is taking place in sorts, and also just helping to resource a lot of the ministries that are there. And we have people walking through our doors. We're mainly known as helping and facilitating other churches in backpacks and food and things like that. But we literally have people walking through our doors every day where we're giving out the food and so forth. So when you're trying to manage and bring people together and do all that, and also meet the needs of individuals that are coming through your door, it's quite a task.
Have you seen increased need this past year?
Oh, of course. It's been tremendous, and so with that, we needed more foods just for our location itself there.
People just walking in,
right?
That's amazing.
So thankfully people were doing food drives and so forth, helping in that regard. And then just being able to help and minister to these people, because obviously the food is just the tip of the iceberg of what their real needs are. And so thankfully too, we also have a network of compassion ministries that we help to feed people into that are ready and prepared to help to do that. But that's a lot of work that has to do to update, keep people, new ministries that are coming on board and coming into the scene because of the tremendous needs that are out there in our community. Just to keep and manage all that is quite a task,
Okay, so, all right.
Of course, giving.
I was going to say, what I'm hearing, I was just going to bail you out there, Daniel. I was going to say, send money.
More staffing would be great.
Staffing,
right now.
volunteers, staffing, financial donations, participating in the events, purchasing the tickets. Thank you so much.
Oh, let me just drop this real quick. Our banquet's going to have Lieutenant Colonel Alan West as our guest speaker in September. So that'd be another great thing for people to get on board with.
Okay, well, we're going to have you back because you got a lot of stuff that happened in the fall. So we have to have you back out. Contact me again for that. Stay tuned on the screen. Once again, you're going to see a little bit more about this event coming up, the men's conference, and we'll be right back with more Bay Focus.